Senior Rotax Group A and B about to make their way onto the track. There will be, of course, later on the repechage races for the drivers who failed to make their way through to the A final. They will get a second opportunity to try and qualify for that all-important A final later on today. Some of the drivers to look out for: Guy Cunnington leading them away from Philip Rawson, Ethan Martin, Pearson Bullock Carter, George Donald in there as well. Michael Morgan, Ralph Youngling back on the track as well, fifth on the fifth row. Alexander, Adam Acton, George Allen, Harry Wall, Peter Jurovich, Reece Lomax further down from Samuel Cornwell, Jack Spencer, Sean Rashid, and the likes of Noah Osbaldis and Elliot Pugh down there as well on row number 12. Of course, the drivers will start on various points on the grid during the heat races. The drivers towards the sharp end, of course, looking to qualify directly into the A-finals later on this afternoon, but for those who miss out in both the junior and senior Rotax classes, there will be the repechage races later on today as well. And with those repechage races, the top four from those heats will qualify for the final, and as we saw in the previous rounds, they will be a very important race to get on with. But right now we're going to focus our attentions on race number 2. It's the Senior Rotax Groups A and B out on the course right now. And we just saw Club Secretary Jamie Rowe there keeping a close eye on things as the drivers very slowly make their way around Dan Wilden Corner, forming into line now, and let's hope for another good clean start. Look at this, they are going to burst into action now. A very tactical start from Guy Cunnington and Philip Rawson as they charge down. Drivers just about keeping on the track limits. There's a little bit of smoke flying into the first corner, but they just about squeeze through. Okay, looks like Cunnington's got the jump on the field from Philip Rawson. Ethan Martin, Pearson Bullock Carter in there as well. Good clean start as they make their way through Derek's corner for the first time. Our Senior Rotax making their way up towards the top corner now to Dan Wheeldon, and through they go. Nice clean start there. They very slowly made their way off the grid. It was an explosive start, you would say. And here they come through the Kimbolton corner for the first time on this flying lap. So Guy Cunnington leads. Great start from Charlie Webb in second place. Philip Rawson drops to third momentarily, but hanging on in there as well. We've got Ethan Martin, Pearson Bullock Carter. To look a little bit further down, bit of an incident towards the back of the field there. I think that was the number 133. Lucas Theo and Noah Osbaldiston. And out to your camera shot as well, number 35, sit trouble as well in the midfield. Machet Boroviak spinning towards the back of the field. There's a warning flag out there as well for the 18 of Alexander Adams Acton, so being warned by the marshals. There's the number 33 Bavoriak getting back on track after spinning out as the leaders go charging over the line once again. And a notable driver out of the race right now is Ralph Youngling, who would certainly be one to look out for as the day goes on. British driver with a German father, and you may have guessed with the name there, named after Ralf Schumacher. But Youngling looking very good in the earlier rounds back in January, making a guest appearance here once again, but apparently out of the race, so he'll have some work to do later on. Meanwhile, Guy Cunnington looking very good as we've got a stranded driver on the infield there. Just trying to get the number on that one, maybe number 51. Theo Stanislas, who was in 23rd in the midfield, getting some assistance from the marshal. As you can see, the wave yellows, the orange army doing a great job as Guy Cunnington continues to control this race at the front of the field. And that stranded driver was indeed the number 51 of Theo Stanislas. Driver appears to be okay. Gone down to the infield where the leaders are going through right now, actually. So it's still Guy Cunnington leading the way, but look out for number 24 there, the machine of Charlie Webb, as they go charging down the TKM straight, just starting to put the pressure on Cunnington a little bit. Philip Rawson hanging on in there in third place. Pearson Bullock Carter right in there in fourth as they go over the line. Lucas Ellingham, Ethan Martin right in there as well. George Allen starting to make moves, as well as is Peter Jurovich, Harry Bloor and Liam Hartley just on the edge of the top 10, making their way through the field. Reece Lomax on the 157, also on the move up to 15th place. And a little bit further down in the midfield, the number 20 of Alfie Bushells doing very well, also making up 6 positions up into the top 20. As we look a little bit further down at that midfield scrap, meanwhile back to number 19 there, Philip Rawson in third place, keeping the pressure on Charlie Webb, who's had a good strong start to this race. As we look at some of our midfielders still making their way through the Dan Weldon corner, there's the number 62 in there. Max McGilvray currently in 21st place, battling with Alfie Bushell and Elliot Pugh right in there also. Meanwhile, Guy Cunnington, this race turning out a little bit similar to the junior Rotax, I would say. The leader grabbing the lead early on, managing to establish a small gap at the front. Cunnington currently leading the race by 0.6 of a second, with the charging pack just doing all they can to keep pace with the leader. Still number 24 of Charlie Webb in 3rd place. Philip Rawson still chasing, and then we've got Pearson Bullock Carter, who's remained in 4th place in this race. Ethan Martin just behind number 55, dropping a couple of positions, with Lucas Ellingham and Ewan Richards keeping the pressure on in 6th and 7th respectively. Leaders over the line once again. The race drawing to its final few laps now, just under 3 minutes plus the 1 lap remaining, as the drivers on the edge of the top 10 make their way through. There's Alexander Allen, Adam Zachman was going through there, Ethan Martin, Reece Lomax, Michael Morgan. And we seem to have lost Ewan Richards from this race, the number 29, who was in the midfield there. Just looking to see if he's still in the race. I think he's stranded up at the Dan Weldon corner. The leader's coming up to wave yellow flags right now, as they all go. Well, you see the stationary yellow now. The cart has been taken off the track, so it shouldn't affect the racing too much. That was the 29 of Ewan Richards, who is in trouble up at the Dan Weldon corner. Driver okay and out of the cart, but looks like his race is over. That won't bother Guy Cunnington though, the race leader, who charges through to complete another lap. 2 minutes 10 on the clock, plus 1 lap remaining. So around 3 more laps to go. Charlie Webb in 2nd, Philip Rawson still chasing. Pearson Bullock Carter, Lucas Ellingham and George Donald. So it's still pretty much as you were with the leading group, as the drivers are a little bit further down on the edge of the top 20 making their way through. I think we were looking there. Max McGilvray, Alfie Bushell still moving through the field. Samuel Cornwall 168 currently in 18th position. Sean Rashid and Ryan Hedge just a little bit ahead in 16th position. Leaders meanwhile making their way through the Kimbolton corner as the mid-pack still charging through. There's the 204 in your inset there. That's James Henson currently in 23rd place. So that midfield group just making their way down towards the Kestrel corner. The leaders meanwhile already making their way through the Willows onto the Imitsu Straight. Well, I have just seen on the race control there's a warning flag out as a driver under investigation is the number 99 just to the edge of this little group here. That's the machine of Lucas Ellingham. So something happening up there that the race stewards may want to take a look at. Leaders now making their way through the Kimbolton corner once again. Our midfielders still charging in that close battle on the edge of the top 10 going through the Dan Weldon corner right now. There we just saw the 35 of Maciej Dworiak, who's making his way through the field up to 24th after that trouble at the start of the race. Guy Cunnington meanwhile leading the race as they make their way through towards the Derrick's corner. And there is our chasing group. Charlie Webb, Philip Rawson, Pearson Bullock Carter, that midfield scrap still charging away. Cassius Geff, James Henson, Max McGilvray, Elliot Pugh all fighting in the midfield positions. So on the clock now we have 15 seconds. I think they're going to squeeze through just before the last lap board goes out. So there we go. We're going to go effectively now for another lap. So the seniors just a few seconds quicker than the juniors at this stage. Judging by the lap charts there, they've just about managed to get through before the clock goes to 0. And even if it's 2 or 3 seconds, they'll still go through and complete another lap. So a bit more work to do here for Guy Cunnington, 52, your race leader. Charlie Webb hanging in there still in 2nd place. Pearson Bullock Carter, number 9, the driver you're looking at now, is now moved up to 3rd place, getting past Philip Rawson, who started 2nd, dropped to 4th, but still running well there. There's the 157 in the midfield. Just looking further down, that's 12th place Reece Lomax, who's been slowly but surely making his way through a few positions. Now we're on to the final lap as number 52, Guy Cunnington, controlled the race well at the start and has pulled the gap to 1.4 seconds right now. So on this final lap he's just got to keep it together. There is a slower driver ahead of him, but shouldn't really affect him on this final half lap. At the moment the battle seems to be on for 2nd place though, with Charlie Webb, who's had a good steady race making his way through to 2nd place. We've still got work here as Pearson Bullock Carter keeping that pressure on going into the final lap as they make their way down TKM Straight for the final time. There's Cunnington, and down into Kimbolton corner he goes. Has a quick glance over the shoulder, he knows he's got this race under control, and Guy Cunnington takes the first senior Rotax Heat race. Charged to the line for 2nd place, but it's going to be Charlie Webb from Bullock Carter Rawson Ellingham in 5th place, but is under investigation. George Donald, George Allen, Harry Bohr, Alexander Adams-Acton and Peter Jurovich rounding out the top 10.